Growing up, I was always player 2, be it Luigi, Luma, or the pointer in Rabbids Go Home. I didn't complain, because in all honesty there wasn't much to complain about. I didn't really comprehend how to play video games back then. It's genuinely a bit baffling how I find them to be as fun as I did. I was perfectly happy getting 12th in Mario Kart Wii and living vicariously for my friend in 4th place. I thought it was random chance if you'd use neutral B or side B in Smash Bros. Brawl until I had my Eureka moment when somebody said the words side B. I could go on, and I'll go on just a little bit more because I didn't realize that Just Dance was motion controlled for a solid 10 minutes. That's like 3 songs! I deserve to be bullied for that. Video games for me were sort of spectator sport, but I was too dumb to realize I was not actively participating. All my friends my age understood them fine rightly. I am just by no means a natural. I get what people mean when they say they just can't seem to gel with video games, even when they're interested, because if I hadn't forcibly indoctrinated myself into this hobby, I would probably lead a successful life. I had to look at my controller to see what button the screen was telling me to press, so I had to really hammer it in that the right stick controlled the camera because it just didn't feel right for some reason. And to harken back to how authentically trash I am at video games, I didn't get past Mario Galaxy's tutorial level without getting help months later, and I didn't even realize I was playing the game happily. What was I doing? But nowadays, I have grown. Video games are part of the schedule. I live and breathe in it, that I'm having the stuff that make Mario go down a pipe and think he found a secret exit. I'm on that Zaza that made the Metal Gear Solid. Though I'll always carry my past with me, I'm just beyond the point of being handed a dead controller and being told you're the one that says CPU above its head. I still enjoy the spectator aspect of it all, I just like to play the game now. Smartphones exist, I'm pretty sure they pulled off a hit on my attention span because it's not there anymore, so I'm going to need something to do. And the cooperative video game A Way Out, wow I said the title, has been the only thing to capture the pure unbridled nostalgia of being player 2 and my full attention as a 20-year-old screen addict. A Way Out sees you playing as either Leo, a hothead with a sense of humor, or Vincent, a seriously reserved serious and reserved serious guy. Their dynamic is quite nice, but I wish they'd just be a little gay, just one kiss. Also, I should probably mention that they're both criminals. Leo did a spot of armed robbery and played GTA, and Da Vinci's in for embezzlement and murder. Fortunately, their cells are beside each other, so they decide to break out of prison, which is a surprisingly short portion of the game. I mean, you break out pretty quickly, like 60% of the game is spent as wanted fugitives. And I honestly think the game benefits from this direction, though you wouldn't be able to tell from the game's marketing that you'd leave so soon. A fair grievance, but you definitely still get a good chunk of prison time and it doesn't overstay its welcome. So bear that in mind if you care. The story is pretty good, but you don't have to take it too seriously, which me and my pal found to be just dandy for us. Anyway, I played as Vincent when I played the game, but what are my 2 cents on the game? Is that even a joke? Is the gameplay good? Is it good? Yes, me likey. The game frequently shakes up what you're playing without changing the controls too drastically, and it doesn't hurt that the genre hobby includes some of my favorite types of games. It also isn't particularly difficult, and you're never going to hinder the person that you're playing with, or vice versa, so it really is one of those games you can feel free to play alongside a non-gamer, and I think that's super important for a purely cooperative game. The main gameplay segments are also broken up by a bunch of mini-games, be it darts, rhythm game, or Connect 4, which we ended up playing for over 20 minutes. Where I find that my friend Drizzly Bear TV does not understand how Connect 4 works. Seriously man, what you want to do is have 4 of your circles connect to each other. In terms of main gameplay, you can expect to see puzzles, shooting, and a spot of driving, and it all controls great. I had no issues there. And if you're so inclined, you can switch between gamepad and keyboard with no extra setup if you're comfortable using a mouse to shoot, for example. So that's a win for PC players like me who generally use a controller but do like to drive with WASD because I could just switch that on the fly. What I should mention though is that at times one player may be doing something different to what the other player is doing. For example, quite early on there's a section where Vincent drives whilst Leo shoots at cop cars from the back of the vehicle, so I could definitely see a scenario where one player might get a little jealous of what the other player gets to do. Though I find that the game strikes a nice balance with the character differences and it was certainly never intrusive. It's also nice that the game has an inch of replayability by giving the players a choice to do things Leo's way or Vincent's way for certain missions. At one point, Vincent's way is a mission to drive people out of their house, distracting them by letting their horses go free and then stealing a change of clothes in their car. But we chose Leo's way, where we tied up an elderly couple and locked them in their room. What a wonderful example of player expression. I for one am a psychopath. Little variations like this are littered throughout the game, and they're definitely a welcome addition because I will probably replay this game with somebody else at some point, so I'll get to play out that horse mission. Who am I kidding? I'll probably tie up the elderly couple again. But the point is, I have every intention of replaying the game. I don't feel a need to play it again super soon, but it was like 7 hours. So let's be honest, the puzzles will seem new to me again in like a year, and I didn't dislike anything. And let's be honest, there aren't many games that are made purely for co-op, so bonus points for that alone, and that genuinely is really cool to see. And I'd consider myself a bit of a friend haver, so it works for me. And I wish there were way more games for a co-op audience because this game rules. I'm being quite serious when I say you gotta play this game. It's sick. 8 out of 10.
Boom shakalaka!
Did you read that? It said subscribe. It wasn't a suggestion, even if you hated the video, go. Do it now. And on the screen is Drizzly Bear TV's highlight video of our playthrough of this game. So if you want to watch, then click. And if you don't, then click anyway? Flushed emoji?